What's up, everyone? Tonight I'm going to start the build on my Maverick X3. I've been collecting parts for a while, got everything here. Tonight I'm going to keep it simple. We're just going to do the wheels and tires, and then we're going to do the Fox tune on the suspension. The wheels and tires that I decided to go with was MSA Lock 2s, and then I've got the XTR 370s. The wheels are 15-inch wheels with a 4.3 offset. Tires are 30-inch by 10. I ordered everything from Planet Side by Side. They offered a service where they can powder coat the gray ring to match the vehicle. They did an excellent job. It matches up perfectly. And they even mounted the wheels for me before they shipped it out. So I was really happy to see that when it arrived, that everything was mounted and ready to go. I had great service from them, very happy with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. First thing we're gonna do is we're going to measure the ride height front and rear. I'm gonna measure the ride height from the front of the frame behind the front A-arm. And then the same thing in the back, I'm gonna measure it back here on the bottom of the frame. So these are the spots I'm going to measure from. I'm going to see what those measurements are. Then I'll go ahead and mount the wheels, then roll it out, let the suspension settle, pull it back in, take another measurement, see where we're at. And then I'll do the Fox tune adjustment for setting the suspension on these. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then once that's all set, I'll do a final measurement. Hopefully after that, I'll have a nice aggressive stance. I'll probably sit a little bit higher and be a little bit wider. We're gonna go ahead and get this started, so let's get going. All right, let's see what this height is here. In the rear, we are sitting at roughly 12 and a half. I'm sorry, in the front, we're sitting at 12 and a half. The rear, we are sitting at, looks like right about 11. Go ahead and break these lug nuts loose. $19 millimeter. Grab the breaker bar here. Break all of these free. Made me a little block, jack extension piece, whatever you want to call it. Took 3 pieces of 2x4, screwed them together, and that's what I'm going to use for jacking this thing up, because you have so much suspension travel that if you don't have something like this, your jackal will be fully extended and will still be on the ground. So I mean, that is a lot of suspension travel there. All right, make sure that's not going anywhere. Yeah, that's good. So the nice thing is Planet Side by Side, they sent me this wheel lug set with a special key. So when you get these aftermarket wheels, they're not going to take the standard wheel nuts. You'll need something that's narrow with a spline and a key. So they sent that with it, so that's what we're going to be putting on. One thing I can say about these XTR 370s, they are heavy. It was one thing that made my decision to get them kind of hard, because I didn't want to put a super heavy tire on there. I'm all about, performance and wanting to go fast, straight lines, and these things are some of the heaviest tires out there. But everything else about them is great from when I did my research. The only downside to these tires are the weight, but I'm gonna almost double the horsepower in this thing and have proper clutching, so shouldn't have a problem. So this is the Fox Tune shock tuning guide here. I pulled it up, and what we're looking for here is the spring length. For the front, we're going to adjust to 23 and a half, rear 26 and a half, and then we're going to set the crossover distance from the top of the perch to the bottom of the crossover. That's going to be set to 4.5 in the front and 6" in the rear. We are sitting at the bottom there. We are sitting at 23 and about 5/8. Looks like we can do that too, so. I guess as I'm spinning this, is actually tightening up a little bit. One or two more turns should have us right where we need to be. I wouldn't even say turn, this is more like the distance I can crank it in this little smooth, tight spot. So. And I need 4 blocks for this sketchiness right here. Actually 5 blocks is what I need in the rear, so let me go grab that other one. I mean, so sketchy. I got to come up with something better. I'll think about it, maybe looking online to see what maybe some other very smart person probably came up with. Oh, we gotta go way down in the rear. We're sitting at 28 in the rear. It's not my friend. But I'm gonna get it done. All right. I don't really know exactly what they specify wheel lug torque to be, but I'm going to go with about 85. That's always been pretty good for me in the past. You guys let me know if that's a good spot to be, or if I should go a little more than that. All right, well, let's go 86. All right, 86. All right, so I got all the clutch. All right, let me start over. All right, so I've got the wheels and tires on, and I went ahead and did the Fox tune. I'm really happy with the way it looks. Everything looks great. It's got a much more aggressive stance. It sits a little bit higher, but looks great. A little bit higher in the front than the rear by about a 3/8 of an inch. I was really hoping that they would have been dead even, but this is what I wound up with, so I'm just gonna roll with it. It looks good. It doesn't look higher in the front. So the next thing that I gotta do is I have to do the clutching. With these big, heavy 30-inch tires, and a really heavy tire at that, it's going to need some clutching done to handle these wheels, and also, you know, the higher power that I'm going to throw at it. So the next step, tomorrow night, I'll work on taking the clutch out, and we're using an Ibex clutch kit. So this is what we got over here. So a bunch of stuff. So I went with the Ibex Stage 2 clutch for 32-inch tires and smaller. I'm actually running 30s. And then we've got Evolution Power Sports World's Best Badass belt here. This thing, they say, is they've tested it up to 600 horsepower vehicle, so this should be great. So I'm gonna put this on with it. I've got a specialty tool here that allows me to easily change the clutch. I'm gonna keep this tool with the original belt in the car at all times. So if I get stuck with a blown belt, I can at least get back to where I was, where I need to go. Also, I'm changing the rollers on the secondary clutch. These are Rhino rollers. I haven't opened them up yet, but I've heard that they go bad or they break or something. So this is like an item that you might want to change out while you're already doing it. So I went ahead and purchased those. This is a tool to change those rollers. They wanted, I believe it's like almost $100 for this tool, and it really hurt me to pay for this. I mean, this is probably $15 worth of stuff here, but you know, when you need the tool, you need it. So this is going to allow me to pull the pins to change these rollers out in the secondary. And this tool here was kind of expensive, but I feel this tool is worth it. This allows me to change the weights on the primary clutch without pulling the primary clutch off. So I can do it while it's on the vehicle, and it's going to make weight changes in the future quick and easy. So all of this I'm going to try to get on in the next day or two, working in the evenings after work, and then hopefully Sunday I'll be able to take it out and put it back on the draggy and see what kind of times we get in stock form with the clutching and the bigger tires. I'm sure it's going to be slower, but at least I'll know how much slower.